out what happens to the arm. But first off, let's give a quick shout out to The Forge. We appreciate using their service. If you guys need a place to host Foundry, be sure to check out Without further ado, we shall see what's going on in the lives of our lovely crew. See what the Chooms have going on in their lives. Matt, what is happening in your life?
Hello. I've had some exciting developments in the last little while. I recorded some music here during the week, and just very just casual, just me and the guitar, me and the piano, just nothing fancy, just and background noise in it and everything. And went okay. I haven't really practiced very much over the last few years, and so I'm very out of practice as a musician, and I shouldn't be. I should be doing more. But I thought it's time to start recording some of my music, and then I've sent it out to a couple of people, and that's gone very well. So I've had some people reach out and want to see me do more, and potentially on stream. They think someone who's doing music on stream very often thinks that I could get somewhere with that, which is very interesting and something that I didn't consider or didn't think. I know I'm okay, but it's I'm not a professional, and I know I'm not a professional. But he's like, no, I think you could probably get somewhere. So he's sent me a free music program off his own back, bought it, and given me a gift, and okay, I'll take it. And so I've ordered some more kit, and we'll see. So I won't be able to do it probably for a couple of weeks still, but my intention is to start small and do some music on streams every so often, and that's pretty exciting. And I've also started a new series and stuff, and wanting to do a little bit more voice acting with that. So I started Dishonored this week, which you caught the end of, and I'm reading the in-game books in different accents. Maybe they're not 100% world, in the world, but I'm doing different accents.
It's still cool.
Absolutely.
And voice acting them. So we'll see what happens. But all of that is going pretty well. I'm doing good.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people are their own worst critics. So, I mean, the fact that you got this type of positive advice from someone is good.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know you've mentioned before how much you enjoy it, so yeah. Rock it, dude. Maybe we'll even have you go rocker boy here so you can have some more fun with it.
Yep. Not on the card percentage, but
do your best Johnny Silverhand impression.
Yeah.
Well, cool, dude. Cool. Hop over to Ezreal. What's happening with your life?
Hello. I did a pretty long stream last night. I did 4 or 5 hours, and kept having to restart battles in War Tales because they kept killing my wolves, and I was very upset. So I kept restarting the damn battle so I didn't lose any fucking wolves. I did get a bear. I finally got a bear. And that made things that made battles way easier.
Bears are pretty cool.
Oh my god. Oh man. But yeah, aside from that, earlier today I played some Zomboid with Jarl and Mixed Nuts and a few other people, and that was fun. This week's been interesting. It's been my last week as a 42-year-old. Turn 43 tomorrow. Well, midnight. So it'd be another trip around the sun. So, but I'm my wife went to for Mother's Day, so it's just me and the dog and the two cats, and so I'm enjoying the weekend.
Cool, man. That's awesome. Very good. What about Dimension?
What's going on?
What's going on with you, man?
Not much. Playing. Well, I say a lot of Starbound, but mostly been streaming Starbound the last couple streams, and Middle Earth the other night. Since The Witcher 2 is over, I'm working towards getting the PC before we try to play The Witcher 3. If I can get it on sale like it has been lately, and the funds keep coming in like they're supposed to, I may be able to order it by the end of May. So we're getting real close. If that's the case, then once that gets ordered and comes in, and I get everything ported over, then we'll begin the Witcher 3. Until then, we'll be doing Starbound and probably Project Zomboid here and there, just to kind of fill the time, and we'll be doing our every other Wednesday Middle Earth streams like we do now. And I think we might try to do some community nights here and there with some of my community, and maybe play some Among Us or Jackbox, or get like a big group to play Zomboid or Starbound or something like that. But kind of doing some more laid back, easier, less story intensive games until we get the PC to be able to do Witcher 3.
Understandable.
Large group Zomboid is a lot of fun.
Zomboid is
Done it a couple of times back when Jarl used to have the server going and stuff. So, I'd like to get a group going in that again and just try to see what we can build.
The favorite character that I played in Zomboid was a deaf doctor. That was just the best. like I would like walk around, and I don't know how this was possible, but I could hear, the only thing I could hear was the weather. And that was just,
I thought they had made it so you didn't hear anything.
They might have changed it, but like it's because it's been a few months since I played it. Or
but that is one thing that was pretty cool that they did with it, right? Is that they did make it where deaf is deaf. So
couple of weeks ago when I played with Jarl and Dumpgraw, I had a deaf character, and if I remember correctly, I'm not mistaken, I could hear the game music, but it was basically like the music that plays on the menu screen. So it didn't have, the ratcheting up and stuff when zombies came around, and you couldn't hear anything else. It just that's good menu music playing over and over and over, and like I'm like, man, this game is so peaceful like this. It's so much. It's just serene this way. Of course,
and then you get bit by a zombie, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, look, I was fine until Dumpgraw got bit and crashed our car, and we got surrounded. And when I tried to get out, my laptop glitched, so I pressed the button to get out of the car twice, so I got out and then got back in, and then by the time I got back out, there was more zombies. So we all three Dumpgraw got killed because he was already bit, but I ended up getting Jarl and I both bit because of the lag. It was great.
Because you're blaming it on your laptop.
It was
The
absolutely the laptop.
Oh,
Because even
Nice.
Jarl goes, "Are you messing with me?" Like, because he was in the back seat and it was a 2-door car, so he couldn't get out until I got
that
out.
sucks.
So he's like in the menu trying to move up to the front seat so he can get out, and I got back in, and he's like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I can't get out of the stupid car."
And now you're all dead.
Yeah. So that was my longest lasting character though.
How long?
In game time. Or
Yeah.
out of game?
Yes.
Out of
2
game
hours.
time, like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 16 hours or something like that in game.
That's crazy.
How long?
Dude.
How many times have you played it?
I've only played a couple times solo.
that's not
I
bad.
played 4 or 5 times back when, like I said, Jarl had the server going. I played 4 or 5 times with him.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean,
You'll get better.
that's the thing, right? You gotta play it to get better, and
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the few games that you have to invest the time. If you don't invest the time, you're gonna just be terrible.
Oh yeah.
yeah, they definitely make it a challenge. But so is this game.
Yeah.
This game, you can die real quick. So without further
Thanks,
ado,
Autofire.
let's dive into tonight's session and see what inspires. Last session, you all found yourselves finalizing your plans and executing them to find, break out Seamus's contact, FaZe, who he had met, requested services of, and then had his associate, Shadow, be around with you all, causing some stir amongst you all.
Thanks, Shadow.
You then are recruited by Shadow, assisted to track down, break in, and break out FaZe, who is being held by a group of internal security group that is a deviant section of it. Basically, they have some of their own way of doing things. It's not fully aligned with the complex. Found out. Find out where they're being held, and really, really well in preparing, which you found out was probably a good thing. And you executed it. Zid then locks down the doors and hacks the turret. Then combat begins. You've isolated 2 of them, of the 4 of these fairly skilled individuals. And so you take out 2 of them fairly decently. It takes a bit of time, but no real major injuries. And then you open the door to take out the other 2. And things change.
That's one way to put it.
In the end, 3 of you are very badly wounded, and 1 on the brink of death with an arm that has been sawed off by automatic fire, for lack of a better term. And that is where we find you all tonight. I would like to quickly go around and get a snippet from each of you as the camera pans in on your character at the start of this session, this episode, and finding out what's going on in your character's mind as we pick up this session. Who wants to go first?
I will.
Go for it.
I got 3 words that are going through my mind right now. And those 3 words are what the fuck. Like this entire battle like maybe took in game time 5 minutes?
Not even.
Is that?
Not even.
Yeah, like a couple
even.
minutes. So I'm like, we just got here, we were doing our jobs.
It took
Turret
that
got
most,
hacked,
like
and
since you
then-
guys came in the front door,
Yeah.
5 minutes
Yeah.
since you came in the
Absolutely.
front
we're
door.
literally at the start of our shift, and like my
Yeah.
head is like, I'm looking at Seamus like bleeding from his stump of a shoulder. I'm seeing Doc like leak bodily fluids. And I'm looking at my side, also leaking bodily fluids. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
So that's what's going through my head right now.
Your knowledge of first aid does key into your mind. Like, you better deal with these quickly because Doc and I are leaking. Isn't great. But if we don't deal with Seamus's arm quick, we're gonna have problems. So your medical understanding kind of kicks in and gives you that.
Yep.
While that's happening, pan in and get a glimpse of Zid as he is just finished up, probably jacking out from the network after deactivating the turret. What is going on inside Zid's head?
Yeah. Before I jack out, I would obviously deactivate the turret, and I would make sure that all of the doors were open. Because
Open
I
or
did
unlocked?
lock down the front door, and I would have to, well, unlocked,
Okay,
because I did lock it down,
you did. Yes.
and yeah, and I would have to jack back in order to do
Right.
that if I forgot. So yeah, I make sure that everything that I've done is back. I also before I jack out want to make sure that I
think you said you wanted to do a virus
delete
cloak.
footage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to delete the footage. Yeah, that sort of thing. But we'll get to that role in a minute.
Right.
What he's thinking right now. Let's see. I think that his mind is in two places. Part of his mind is in his teens when his existence was running through active combat zone areas, scavenging for an existence and constantly in danger of getting shot at. And part of his mind, like overlaid with that, is seeing Blackstone and Seamus getting shot at, and not just getting shot at, but getting extremely wounded. And so these two combat experiences are playing in Zid's mind. And in a sentence, TLDR, I guess what he's thinking is, why is my life just violence? Because that's not who he is. It's how he grew up, but it's not who he became. It's not what he wants. But it seems like everywhere he turns, from when he was a child to when he was a teen to now in his 20s, everything is violence.
Try to get away from the violence, and it always goes back to violence. Yeah.
And violence begets violence.
And as Zid is contemplating this and finishing, zoom in. Seamus, what is going on with you?
So, first of all, with my dismembered arm, like, what are we talking here? Are we talking? Because I know we've said, shoulder and all this stuff. Like, are we like, am I cut off from the shoulder? Am I cut off from the elbow? Is it like half of my upper arm is gone? Like, what
I
are we
would say
talking
it's
here?
at least above your elbow, probably halfway or
Gotcha.
further up, closer to the shoulder, somewhere between there.
All right. So Seamus is laying there as the camera swings to him, and he's laying there on his back, and he's got an arm out to the side and missing arm out to the other, and he's kind of staring off at the ceiling. And if you guys recall, he was kind of mumbling to himself last time as Blackstone put down this guy that blew his arm off. Something about a missing family member, and he's still kind of mumbling those things as the camera pans to him, and the camera starts to zoom in on one of his eyes, but it's glossed over, like not to the point of like milky, like a blind eye would be, but you can tell like he's almost fading. Like that's how bad he is. And as the camera kind of gets right up there to his eye, you kind of see what Seamus is seeing in his head. And Seamus is playing a continuous loop in his head of his sister meeting the son of a high corporate executive, and building a relationship with him and being wooed over and falling in love and great relationship. And Seamus sees himself as happy for the two of them until one day he doesn't see his sister again, and he can't find her, and he doesn't know what happened to her. He just knows that he can't find her. He hasn't seen this son of this corporate exec anymore. He can't get a location on him, and it solidifies as Seamus feeling like he's lost his sister by watching her walk away from him with this guy for the last time that he saw her. But like the first time this plays over, Seamus stands there with a smile on his face, waving as they walk away. And then as this loop keeps going on, Seamus starts to get more and more desperate, and like his right arm that's blown off slowly starts to like go incorporeal. It starts to go almost translucent, and he starts to reach out and like try to grab at his sister's back. She turns to walk away, and this arm just keeps like filtering through her, and till at one point he's just standing there, arm, hand on a non-existent arm here, just watching his sister walk away for the last time again.
Thank you for sharing that.
So this is what our lovely viewers get to see. The players. Doc is going to slam a speed heal into himself as he runs over to Seamus. Now, the reason he's doing this speed heal, because if he doesn't, he'll take a -2. And so he will immediately heal HP equal to body plus will. So he is going to get will of 8 and body of 7 back in health.
That's helpful.
Yes. So he's currently at 21. So then he's going to get the 7 and the 8 back. So yeah, that's going to help. Helping him up to 36.
Yep.
I'm hoping that's enough to get him out of his... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I bumped him up
It's
to
just
lightly wounded so that he doesn't get that -2, because that's going to come really important real quick. Do you guys want him to toss another speed heal to Blackstone as he grabs the arm and tries to see what he can do for Seamus, or not?
I would rather Seamus be stabilized. Like,
Well,
he's at 8 out of 50 right now. I'm at 11 out of 40.
Yeah, I was saying, should
So
Doc go
he's-
ahead and toss you a speed heal and let you inject yourself, or wait and administer it properly after?
Yeah, toss it to me, and I'll inject it in myself.
Okay. So yeah, you consume a speed heal as well.
And so I get
Body plus will and hit points
yeah,
back.
I get 11 back, so I'm at 22 out of 40.
Yep.
So I'm lightly wounded now.
Yep. You guys see why a speed heal is so amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doc is looking at your arm. He's saying with his speed heal and some of his experience in surgery, he can attempt to reattach. But if it doesn't succeed, he's going to have to cauterize it and see what you guys can do from there. So,
Yeah, I mean, Seamus, it's your arm.
So Seamus is in shock. So I hate to do this to, I guess, to you two since Doc's not here, but I believe like the decision is up to you guys. Seamus, you guys could ask Seamus all day long, and
He's
while
just gonna be delirious.
while he has eight hit points, he just had an arm shot off. He might look at you guys and mumble something, but he is not cognizant of anything you're asking him.
Yeah, he's delirious right now.
yeah.
Let's see. Hang on. So surgery roll is basically 14. Oh, he's got a 14. You said it's a DB of 17. So
Yeah.
So, like, could we add 3 luck, and technically, like, we wouldn't fail, unless we literally rolled a crit fail? Because if it's like, it's ability rank 6, stat tech 8, so that's 14. If we add 3 luck, is that like auto win unless we crit fail?
Potentially, I can't remember if you're
You
able.
still have to roll the dice, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if you're able
Alright.
to use luck on that roll ability. I thought there was one that you couldn't. But I don't remember if it was
I don't
surgery.
know if any of us have been able to use luck on our roll abilities, but yeah.
Let me look really quick on mine.
I know, I don't think I can on mine either, so.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, we can't. We can't do it on any of them. But I mean, so we have to roll at least a 3 for it to work.
That shouldn't be hard, right?
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. I personally think we should try the surgery. Matt, what do you think? Worst case, if
I
we
agree.
fail, like, he cauterizes. So
So it looks like Netrunner is the one that
Yep.
can, because they actually do it via their net interface rolls, not via their roll ability. So yeah, it looks like roll ability straight you can.
okay. All right, I'm gonna roll for surgery.
So for all the marbles. Ooh, 22. So he's going to be able to reattach it, and he's going to go ahead and give you a speed heal to help get it to stay on. Your arm's not going to be immediately usable, so we're going to leave the dismembered arm on there as a reminder that it's currently healing from that. But at least it's attached. Did you already do a speed heal?
Yeah, I did.
I was saying Seamus. Did you already do a speed heal?
I think Azrael might have added it to
I
me.
did.
'Cause
Okay.
I don't.
Sorry.
I didn't do anything.
No, it's fine. I just was verifying that. Like, I saw that it had gone up, and I was like, just want to make sure that
Sorry.
we were calculated it correctly and we were good.
See, my arm had like what 11 HP, so when it got reattached, I got 11 more HP automatically. That's what happened.
If only, if only.
Totally how it works.
So who thinks Doc should invest in some more speed heals? I mean, you can't take another one for the day, but
He should have 4 speed heals on him all the time.
he was telling me like, oh, we don't really need a dedicated med tech, and we don't really need
Bull.
speed heals. And I was like,
Bull.
I really think you should. I didn't force him, but I did try to convince him to go back to his original thought of being medtech because of that. I hadn't experienced it firsthand, but I'd heard from others watching their stuff that they recommended it, and now I see why. You guys imagine not having a medtech in the group?
Oh, we'd be dead already.
I mean, if you're in Night City, at least
He
you
did
could,
several times over.
you could run to the hospital and stuff, but you'd have a lot longer time down and a lot more risk of it. So while he's doing that, we're going to go ahead and focus back on Zid for a moment. Zid, you wanted to go ahead. Do you want to just delete the footage, or did you want to put a virus in to keep you guys and prisoners from being seen? So do you want to like permanently be deleting the footage, or do you want to just delete it one time, or what is your thoughts?
Okay. Well, to start this discussion off, Zid would not be looking to do. So, even if it means that he has to stay jacked in longer, he would not be looking to do anything until our target is out of the cell and out of the area, at least of this building, so that he's like at least ready to leave. Like he's at the door walking out. He would then look at doing something with the footage. Probably what he wants to do is find a loop of what was going on before and loop that over through the time that we were there, and then have it sort of, I guess, cut to whatever it is when we leave.
Okay.
Maybe it would even be better to have Zid disable it for like half an hour and have it time up when we're completely out.
You
That's
do
something
know that
Zid would
a straight
consider.
footage of
I
looping.
don't know how much of that is possible.
Yeah, the footage of looping would have the 2 guards there, and once you kick it back in, it won't be. It'll be a quick shift. I don't know if you intend that to happen, or if you just want it to be a loop of the guards there for a bit and then have it cut back where they're just gone, or what your plan was with that.
I want to dirty the footage. So the loop, I want it to start to static, right? During the next iterations of the loop, static, grow static till the end of the loop, and then it cuts to whatever it is. Either it cuts out for 10 minutes and then reboots, and then you see the empty room, or something like that, because I want us to be able to get the guy, get out, and then the footage comes back on after that static end, close down, reboot.
Okay, then we'll have
Kind of what I want.
2 interface rolls.
Ideally.
We'll go ahead and use
Yeah.
Virus for 1, and Cloak, of course, for getting out and trying to hide it.
Alright. Okay, so virus. Now let me just check my boosters. We've got Eraser for the cloak, so we won't do that yet. We've got Pathfinder checks. We've got Worm for backdoor checks. I'm just making sure that I don't have anything here. I do not. So, okay, we are going to virus. There is no mod, so I'm going to spend some luck on this, and you're saying that I can spend luck on this?
Yeah, it says you
I don't
can.
wanna do it
I
if
think
I'm
part
not
of
allowed.
why they said you could on yours is that you don't get the tech or will or dex bonus to it like the others do to theirs. So instead, you can spend your luck on it.
Right. Yep, okay. Unlock. Boom. Okay. Why did that not work?
Duh. Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly reload.
I saw a dice go on the screen when I quickly looked because my son walked in.
Cause it's...
But
Yeah, it's this old thing of... I have to go back and log in again.
bummers.
Don't know why it does this. It lets me in, and then it doesn't recognize that I'm logged in.
That's weird.
Yeah. Alright, I'm on my way. Sorry about that.
Be back in a minute. I just gotta get water for my dog.
Yep.
Okay.
So, boop. Players, Z, virus, 2.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh,
19. You critted. Nice.
19.
So yeah, you were able to hack that footage really well. Get it to have it set where when you guys came in, like all the bullets flying up through when you anticipate leaving. So we'll say 3 minutes or so, just to make sure you guys have time to get out, is messed with. You've modified that footage. So you're on a timer for 3 minutes to get out of that back room. That doesn't mean out of this building. It means out of that hallway in the back.
Yeah. Can I set it to 5?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll set it to 5. And then we're going to res an eraser for a burst.
And this will
we're going
basically
to
determine
cloak,
what...
you said?
Cloak, yes. Cloak is
It's a cloak roll?
your ability to hide your presence and virus. How well you can basically disguise it. What another netrunner's going to have to come in, and you know they will be coming in to try to find out who messed with things.
Yeah. Well, I do have a res, so I do have a +2. I will add 1 luck. I want to have 1 for the rest of the session. I only have 4
No, you're
total,
good.
so I'm using 3 of it for just these 2 rolls.
I mean, this is what
We're
luck's
at a
for.
14.
Okay. Let's see.
That's still pretty decent for... It's still a professional
Mhm.
level, isn't it? For
Yeah,
a
it's still good.
interface roll. Yeah. Not much I can do about it now that I've rolled it, but that's what it is. We have established that Zid isn't as good at getting out undetected as he would like to be. This has happened a couple of times, so.
That's what IP. That's what import. That's what IP is for.
But yeah, yeah. I can't spend IP directly on Cloak though. I can only spend it on the interface roll.
Correct. Okay. So now you have to leave it up
14.
to determine
That's
if...
what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is at this point. Basically, that was how well you did at cloaking. That's the DV they have to go against now to see if they're able to determine anything.
Yeah. And then he will jack out. He will come to the next room, and he will have compassion in his voice. He remembers all of this stuff, as I said, the two scenes going on. He says that he's sorted the surveillance. Anything that he can do to help you, he will. But we have 5 minutes to clear this building
The
with
back
our
room.
target.
The back room.
He says, I don't want to rush you unduly. This is it.
Okay.
So, you guys can choose who you want to go to the back room to try to get phase out. That does leave the side room that doesn't have cameras that you guys can try to fiddle with after. But you want to get phase out of the back room, the prison area, the holding cell area, before that 5 minutes is up, or you will show up on the cameras.
I look down at Seamus. How you feeling there, buddy? You lucid yet? I know you just went through a lot. We don't have a long time until we're gonna get people here. I think that if you can at least move with Doc holding you up to go and get Phase out of the cell, I think that would be a good idea. I would like to go into that vault, that evidence vault, and loot.
Let me get this straight. I've had my arm blown off, and you want me to get up and do some work?
And this was the mission. The mission was to free Phase. And we are so close. We are like 95% there. We just need to go get him. If you want, I can send Doc back there and you can just lay here. And then when the cameras come on, they can see you. And then your body can get terminated, and that's another option for you. Or I'm happy to help you up, and you can go into the room.
We're seeing a whole new level of Blackstone right now. I'm just saying. Whoa.
And see, I'm saying all of this in a calm, measured voice. I'm just giving him his option.
Where did this guard? Is there a guard's body anywhere near Seamus?
Oh yeah, it's at the end of the hall.
Seamus,
There you go.
I'm assuming Blackstone's probably close by when he's saying this. Seamus is going to like reach up and grab your shoulder and use you to kind of sit himself up. And he looks over at Zid, and you see his lips move a little bit, and he looks at Doc, and you see his lips move a little bit, and he looks at you, and you see his lips move a little bit. I count at least 6 arms between the 3 of you, and you're going to ask the one-armed man to go do something else. I'm going to need at least some... And he's like pauses and like squints his eyes really hard. Some of that guard's clothing, some cloth, so I can at least tie my arm up.
You know what? As I think about the situation, and I think I acted harshly. So you're obviously in a
You think?
you're obviously in
like
a you're in a
raring to go to the back and raring to let this guy out because he's not hurt at all.
Seamus
Oh.
Seamus looks you directly in your eyes, like one hand on the shoulder, and he says, Blackstone, one thing I realized on my deathbed was that arms can be sewn back, but words can't be put back in the mouth. And he, I guess, like starts trying to get up and work his way over to this guard so that he can, I mean, he's got warm, like his arm is sewn on, you know, and he can move like up to the shoulder, but everything, like it's still painful, obviously.
Yeah, your
and
one arm is just
it's not like he can't bend the elbow or anything, so
right.
He's just kind of got one arm like limp at his side as he's trying to, he goes over this guard and he's
Well, actually, you
trying
tried
to tear a sleeve off his uniform.
You try to go to
something.
get up, and you feel you can't. Like for some reason, there's extra weight on you, and you like look down groggily, and you see this massive arm just holding you there. You follow it, and you look up, and you see Doc looking at you like, you don't move until I say so. Like, he gives you that look of like, you're my patient. If you dare budge, I'm going to go ahead and make you not budge. Kind of that friendly yet threatening look that you've grown to know Doc gives.
Seamus nods at Doc and looks to Blackstone. Well, it looks like if I move, I'm going to die. My Doc's going to kill me.
And I look at Doc and I say, I appreciate you saving him from my words.
Drag that body over here so we can get him a splint.
And I go to the body and I do so.
So he's gonna go ahead and rip the cloth and stuff and make a makeshift splint so your arm is just held. And it's basically, he's going to, more than just like a sling, hold it. He's literally like nearly making your arm be in a straight jacket, like held and supported and pinned against your body. So you still have your one arm that's out, but your other one is literally stuck so that you can't move it. He's like, don't dare move that one if you want to keep it.
Okay, so while Doc takes care of Seamus, quickly, I will go and get FaZe.
Okay.
And Zid, my friend, can you go and see what's in that contraband area to see if any of us may find any of that useful?
All right. Sid goes there.
There is so much stuff. You could literally spend like weeks
Great.
ferrying the gear out of here.
All right.
There
Right.
is
Well,
complex
we can only
legal
carry
gear.
so much.
Right. There's like complex legal gear, and there is straight up contraband.
What Zid is looking for in this moment, there would be two things on his mind. One, the creature that we probably have to go through to get to the resistance. And two, a way out. Like, I guess it might be three things. The second thing is probably something to give to the resistance that is going to incentivize them to be more on our side and more willing to help. And three would be something to actually get us out if the way is blocked, right? So these would be the three things. Sorry, I said two, but these would be the three things that are on Zid's mind as he gazes the just all of this stuff. He's going to block everything else out. He's going to just say, we don't have time. These are the three most important things to Zid right now.
So in Zid's mind, what sort of items would trigger the thought of this would be good against that beast? This would be good to help the resistance find us interesting. Be good to help us get out, and this would be good to help if there's any blockage. What kind of items come to Zid's mind? That's kind of things that would work with that.
Okay.
And
I
I'll
don't
let
know
you...
if such a thing exists, but he's potentially looking for a weapon or ammunition that deal particular types of damage. Maybe there's like a chemical compound, maybe there's an acid or a fire or a cold compound, maybe there's a flamethrower or a cryo gun or I don't know what's available, but those are the things. Like he's seen that, probably blunt piercing whatever damage may not do much, so he's looking for something else, some other way of damaging this thing. So that's for the creature.
Okay.
As far as what he can trade, anything that looks valuable, like what do resistance people want? They want they probably just want to stick it to the man, but what do they need? Maybe there's like really good quality food, or maybe there's medicine supplies that he can give them, or I don't know. He's not sure. And as far as getting out, he's looking at like devices that you might be able to put onto doors or barriers to set and walk away and explode them. Something like that. Like timed get out devices.
Okay, give me a moment here.
Yeah, I'm probably not being particularly helpful.
No, I just wanted some ideas of what sort of things.
Of the three things, of the three things that are most important, is it the things to barter to the resistance are the least of these, because he feels like if we can provide a help to a way out, they'll probably take it. So he's less concerned about that than the other two things. Getting out and getting through the creature and getting out would be the two things that are most important.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm really trying to think through some things.
Timed explosives for getting out, and maybe chem grenades, or poison, or Molotovs,
Something.
or I don't
Anything.
know.
something, anything.
Yeah, there's a number of different grenades. There's armor-piercing, biotoxin, EMP, flashbang, incinerary, poison, sleep, smoke, tear gas. A lot of options. There's arrows that can have stuff like that.
EMP have, like, he's really kitted out, right? With maybe EMP might be able to do something. I don't know how that works.
Armor piercing doubles the evasion of armor.
Seems good. Yeah. And maybe this is something that we can negotiate. Like,
Yeah.
you get the idea of kind of what it's after, so maybe we don't have to make the decisions right now. We can just say, we'll make the decisions exactly what this is going to be after, so that we're not
Yeah.
taking too much game time away.
Makes sense. So yeah, that definitely is a viable option to go with. So, good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Cool. I was just trying to think of kind of like if there's anything else that would, work, and so that's why I was trying to give myself some time to think too. But I wanted to at least get an idea of what you would be going for, right? But basically, just about anything you could think of is here somewhere, other than of course cyberware, right? But I mean, you see all sorts of other things.
Yeah. So
glow sticks,
priorities,
guns,
timed explosives,
all sorts of...
and armor piercing, and chem, and what did you say? The EMP. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah, there's definitely a number of
hone right in there.
medical equipment, medical bags, first aid stuff. There's quite a few MREs sort of things that are stashed. Plenty of different things that fits that sort of options that you're talking about. So we'll get these specifics of which things you guys take with you later. But I at least wanted to get everyone thinking on what sort of things Zid is going to point out to them so that they can kind of focus on those things instead of just everything, right? Because you took the time to look in there to kind of focus other people's searches when they come in. Blackstone, you're going to head to Phase.
Is it the left or the right?
Do you recall which one he said?
Left.
I think it's down the hall to the left.
It's to the left, and it's the furthest one along. You sure?
Did you find him?
I'm in here with him. At least I think I am. It's the blue pick, right?
I mean, has a name on it. Hey,
I gotta zoom in.
Who are you? You're not one of the guards here.
So my name is Blackstone. I am an associate of Zid, who was or Seamus, and Seamus was contacted by your associate Shadow.
So you're the Shadow.
Yep. And we're here to escort you out because we are currently the security detail for the evening. And I do air quotes on security detail. So up and at 'em.
Oh, I'm glad to get out of here. It's not exactly.
We're happy to be your escort. Well, I'm sure that as we walk through, you will feel better seeing what we had to do to come in and get you out.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't very polite. Are you guys gonna let the other prisoners out, or are you leaving them behind, or what's the plan there?
I think that the best thing to do is actually to basically create like a prison break. That way they don't think that you were the only person that we came in here to get. This was a situation of someone on the inside not agreeing with the ethics or the morals or whatever of the group and breaking everyone out.
And more chaos is more good.
More chaos is definitely more good.
Right, well, lead the way. You have a plan on how you're getting them all out of here, or you just...
Well, it's not just
screaming, you
me.
open their
I mean,
doors?
it's definitely not just me. And as I walk down the hall, I start opening doors. Hi there.
What's going on?
You're free to go.
Oh, awesome.
You're free to go. Don't mind the mess. You're free to go. Don't mind the mess.
So yeah, they're just all gonna start heading out.
You're free to go. Don't mind the mess.
You do notice he waited till they passed the turrets before he was
Yes.
moved past. Almost as though he knew the turret was there and wasn't convinced whether it was going to do anything.
Hey Zid, what'd you find, buddy?
He gives you a little bit of a lowdown. Just a couple of sentences, like 2 sentences.
Well done. We have our care package. Let's escort our care package out.
All right.
Now, right now would be when you guys would grab the stuff. How much do you take with you? And how do you plan to deal with it? Because you know this is your only chance to get anything from here.
Yeah.
They will be upping the guard.
Yeah. No, I definitely want. So, I really liked what your thought process was, Zid. I definitely think that we needed something to get past that big guy, so that we can get out. I don't think that's going to be. Go ahead.
I think
we need more.
Zid would hand. Yeah, I think Zid would hand FaZe a box of miscellaneous grenades of various types, or whatever we generate, right? So just say there, so that we've got something there. I think he would hand Blackstone like maybe like some medical stuff to like barter, and Zid himself would get a timed explosive of some sort that we can use just in case things go bad, because he wants to get out. And then anything that's like armor piercing he would give to Doc, I guess. Like he would give a box of armor piercing or special ammunition to Doc, and that would probably be it. He doesn't like Seamus is in pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
No.
We don't really have time to muck around, so I think that's what he would grab.
Okay.
Can I make one really quick pass and like just do one cursory look about, like maybe 30 seconds, quote unquote in-game time, 30 seconds to just like walk down an aisle and take a peek.
Now I will say there are some weapon attachments or mods as well.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking about.
So you guys can basically, what's the volume, the weight of the gear that you want to take with you? It's kind of what I'm asking, right? Are you guys going to be running down the hall with a few large duffel bags, or are you just going to have a few small boxes? How much? Because technically you could all spend like a week ferrying a bag out of here and not clean it all out.
No.
Every single locker in that room is
It's full.
loaded.
Yeah.
I think a decent duffel bag each, or a decent box or two that you can carry each is where I would focus. Like we
Okay.
don't want to be hugely weighed down.
I agree.
So you want to just do a box a person, or you want to take a large duffel bag a person?
Large duffel bag.
Okay.
I mean, so my reasoning for that is given what we just went through. There, like, phase is important, but the stuff in this room is like it's not going to be available again. So I want to see like we need to get as much as we can.
Okay. Then we
Yeah,
will
a large
deal with
duffel
that.
bag each sounds good.
Now, you do know Seamus probably is going to have a hard time carrying a duffel bag.
I'll double.
Yeah, which is why I didn't-
Seamus is just going to take about a handful.
I will double up on the duffels for Seamus. I will. Doc can carry 2 duffels. He's a big boy.
Doc can,
Somebody-
if Seamus is going to walk on his own, yeah.
Seamus,
Let's have you roll a body for anyone who's carrying it, and we'll kind of use that as a determination of how much you guys get.
So we're just gonna roll straight
we
body.
just
Right?
roll
Yeah.
body.
Straight body.
Okay.
Because it's basically just your physical robustness.
Better.
So Blackstone gets an 8. Zid gets an 11.
I'll roll for Doc. Hang on.
Your body's 5. It's a 6.
Big boy can carry. Big boy.
Oh
can
my
Carry.
Oh!
Doc
Big
He
rolls,
throws something
boy
on his back
can
as well.
carry.
Doc rolls and
Absolutely,
gets a
100%.
26.
He's carrying 3 fucking duffel bags.
All right, Doc. Showing off again, aren't you? So Doc has the highest body, I think, of everyone.
Got 7.
Get a 6.
It's never worked out for
Five,
him
you get a
before
five, you
now,
get a
though, I
seven.
don't
It
think.
really hasn't. But
No,
this
it
is-
hasn't.
This is the one where we needed it to work.
He's finally like, let me show you guys what I can really
Yeah.
do.
So, like, Blackstone, you have a duffel, and you're having a hard time with it, right?
Mhm.
Because it's heavy.
Yeah.
Zid is making it, but he's able to get a duffel in a little bit.
Yeah.
Seamus is limping along, but he's making it.
With a. Yeah.
He's still a bit of shock, so yeah.
Mhm.
And then you have Doc, who just
Matrixing it up.
straps
So-
3 duffel bags together on his back.
So how many people here have seen the movie Commando?
Yes.
Okay, this is the Arnold Schwarzenegger like carrying like 4 duffel bags with 2 with his 2 hands. Like this is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No. He's
And one of them's a rocket launcher.
Yeah. So he's legit like has massive bags. He's like, all right, guys, you keep an eye on Seamus for me, and I'm gonna carry all this. And you just
Here,
see
I'll,
you see FaZe's face. He's like,
Ooh. Ooh. I hired the right team.
hey, the big boy, he's doing a lot of work.
No, and honestly, like because Doc is carrying all this stuff, I'm gonna offer, like, I know that like words can't be put back in the mouth, but I'm at least gonna offer the shoulder if Seamus needs something to lean on.
All right. Are you gonna take any of the gear off the guys you downed, or leave their stuff?
What do you guys
There's
think?
no reason.
I don't either.
If
I mean, they all had like
They had
normal
energy
stuff.
assault rifles. Now you know the energy assault rifles. They're
yeah, if FaZe wants to grab one on his way out, then fine. But
I don't see
it's
any-
not interested right now.
their magazines are only available in the complex, right? You know, it's a complex specific one. You guys have never seen these outside. Seamus,
Can I?
I see you rolled body.
Oh my god!
Seamus is barely moving.
Yeah. Seamus rolls and gets a nat 1, which then means he rolls and
like-
subtracts 6.
It makes sense.
At a -2, his base is 5, so his body roll was a -2. So yeah, he's like barely dragging himself along.
I mean, honestly,
You
like,
guys handed
I
him
see
like a shopping bag full of marshmallows to carry, and he just
Yeah,
dropped
he
it
do it,
like after
yeah.
a step or two.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I see him basically like barely being able to like make it, and
FaZe is like, why don't I help Seamus
Please-
back
please
to the
do.
bed while you guys
Yeah.
deal with your stuff.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to shove one of their energy ARs into one of these duffel bags. Is there
Shove-
a way to do that really quick?
Shove a what?
One of those energy ARs in one of the clips, or like as many of the clips as I can take, because like you said, this is complex only stuff. So out of character. Whenever I play RPGs, I'm a mule. Like I try to pick up anything and everything, and I hoard.
Well, if it makes you
I just
feel
want there
better,
to be more of a mystery, like
Don't
Yeah.
forget, like, you guys are literally about to be carrying all this through the complex.
right?
It
Yeah.
might be night and there might be bots out, but like you got to either
Right.
find a place to hide it, and because Seamus isn't gonna find y'all a place to hide
No,
it this
he's
time.
not.
There's no way.
Yeah, nah, it's
You're
So
only
you
gonna
guys gotta
have
find
your
a place
one
to hide
stash
it or
point.
get it to the stash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, yep.
let's just take
Yep.
what we got.
Okay.
You can take one if you want. However, I was telling you that because you know the conventional gear that actually shoots standard bullets
Yeah.
is going to be useful after you leave the complex because you can find munitions, right?
Yeah.
But the energy rifles that the complex uses not.
Yeah.
You'd have to figure out how to fabricate those rounds. Yes, but you'd have to break one down and hope you
Yeah,
figure
I
it
know.
out.
That's the reason why I want to get at least one. That's the main reason why I want
Yeah.
to get at least one.
Yeah.
So I can draw up a blueprint later. I wasn't planning on using it against like the big bad. I was planning on breaking it down and like fabricating like if we need it later.
It's fine. I'm just saying, like, it's not
Yeah.
just simply you're able to easily take it apart, figure it out, and then you can make a blueprint. You actually have to reverse engineer it,
Yeah,
and you could
Totally
break it in
understand.
the process, in which case
absolutely.
it's gone, right?
It's gone.
And you
But I'd
still
like
need
to
to
have the
figure out
opportunity.
how to produce the ammo for it as well. So there's
Yeah.
2 steps of reverse engineering that has to be successfully completed
Mhm.
to do that. But it is an
Sounds
option. Just was trying to make sure there wasn't any
I understand.
lack in clarity. So,
Thank you.
so you guys are able to get to the drop point and get back. You do notice, get a warning on your HUD saying that you're nearing violation. So you know that you do need to hurry back to your room. You've made it, but you know there's no more messing around. So you guys throw the gear in there. Your friend is still in your stash, by the way, since he doesn't have anywhere else to hide. Oh wait, no, he does, because you gave him that tag, right? So he's around the
Yes.
complex somewhere. I forgot.
Yep.
Right. So he's actually out
Yep.
in the complex acting like a normal citizen. Forgot about
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
Cool. So,
We have an insider.
He's among us.
Yes. Yep.
So
Head back to the room. Act like nothing happened.
you guys get there just in time to get to the rest. Now, you have a problem. And I want you
Shocked.
guys... Well, hold on. I want you to determine how you're going to deal with this complication. Okay? Complication you are aware of, but you haven't considered it. Seamus is not going to be able to pull his shift tomorrow as normal with an injured arm. How are you going to deal with that? And if you guys are good with it, we can take our break here. We usually do a 10-minute break in a little while. We can do it now if you guys want to have time to kind of mull it over.
Yeah, let's do that.
Think of an option.
Sounds good.
Does that work
Yeah,
with everyone?
please.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. We're going to take a 10-minute bio break here, grab drinks, get all set, give these wonderful gents time to kind of think over how they want to handle this situation so that they don't get themselves in deep trouble. And we'll see you all in 10 minutes. our lovely associates, Chooms here, have come up with a plan to put forth. So, let's hear and then we will begin the execution of said plan for our lovely ones.
So, Seamus decided to take a walk, and Doc went with him. And Seamus took a pretty nasty fall, and he hit his shoulder, his upper arm, his shoulder, on a really nasty, like, metal table, and caused a severe injury to that area of his body. Torn tendons, ligaments, etc., etc. And Doc, with his quick thinking and his medical training that he's already using to help the complex, he took care of Seamus on the spot.
Very good.
That sound about right, Matt? Okay.
Yeah. Saw that Seamus was stable, wanted to have him get some sleep, and that we take him to medical as soon as we're allowed to be up and about to double check everything. And
Yep.
yeah.
So Doc
and
basically,
reported him.
Doc basically stabilized him. So yeah, let's do it.
So we're gonna have a medical roll from Doc. You can pick whatever
Okay.
medical roll you want. Basically,
Yep.
how
I
he's
got it.
presenting the details.
Yeah.
And then one of you can do a social-based roll for explaining it, because they would ask for a secondary witness or information about it, not just Doc's record.
I'm gonna do another surgery roll
Okay.
because
That's a good option.
Like that's the best one that he's got.
He's really good at surgery, which that's actually
He's
really
good.
important.
He's really good at surgery.
Ooh, 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's actually really important because surgery is actually one of the ones you'll need later on for salvaging cyberware.
Mm-hmm.
Surgery is the only thing that allows you to uninstall or install cyberware.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. Let me see what my human perception is. I have a 7. I have a 5 on conversation. Sid's got a 7. Your persuasion's an 8, Zid. Mine is a 5. Yeah, you're better at this stuff than I am.
Seamus.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's gonna be able to do it.
Playing your way out of this, dude.
Yeah, he's not gonna be able to do this.
It's up to him if he wants to try or not.
I'm happy to make the roll, but
Okay.
you know,
Let me see.
this could actually say a lot about how Zid's going with his peopling, because Zid isn't really a people person.
Is this the next day?
It would be the next morning, yeah, because you guys are staying in your room that night so you don't get in trouble. The next day, Doc is taking you into the hospital to register the injury.
What would the roll be, just for giggles?
It'd be either conversation, persuasion, something like that. Some dialogue-based roll.
I'm assuming I still have the -2 because I'm still in a wound state.
Yeah.
I'm looking at least a base of 11 or at least an 8 for either of those. So it's probably not going to help that much.
So if he has slept overnight, doesn't he get his HP?
No, because it's a whole day of rest that you get that
Okay. All right.
back.
Okay.
Well,
Hang on. Let me
I'm
look.
gonna make a roll. Like, I don't want to, because otherwise I think we're metagaming too much. Oh, I have this number and this number and that number. Let's
and
just see what goddamn happens, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's
I mean,
more.
my human perception is I'm pretty good at like, I don't know, like
more from like a movie or video
Spin my
or
line.
TV show perspective. Which character do you think would basically be a supporting character on that?
I mean,
Zid is
honestly,
gonna try
I think
to
both of us
support.
would it be like is it
Nice.
something where like both
A
of
roll
us would
persuasion.
be helpful? Like we went as a group to like.
Yeah, but I'd still have one role as basically the
Okay.
instead of just having, roll, because then you risk, everyone succeeding or one person failing, and then what does that actually work? Does that mean now they start looking into you to, determine if you all are liars? Does that up to DC? Does it, or D does, stuff like that. So it's easier to,
That's cool.
you can word it as though that, but have one person make the.
Zid will pour the fear of losing someone that you care about into his persuasion. That's the skin of that, because we've all experienced this deep emotion recently, and so he will pour that into this persuasion. He'll be like, oh well, they came back, and there was like this terrible wound, and I was really concerned, but and this is how this sort of all panned out, and about losing not only a roommate but a friend. So that's how Zid would speak.
Okay.
When he did this, and that's a 14 on persuasion.
Good. Yeah, so between that and Doc's medical record of it, you guys are able to kind of disguise the facts. So Seamus gets put on desk duty for his job so he can recover. So he gets the lovely, exciting job of paperwork.
I think he'll take it.
Paperwork.
Yeah.
Doesn't like it, but I think he'll take it.
Hopefully it is definitely on a computer because I can't write right now.
You can write with your left hand. You'll just look like you're writing as a
hand.
doctor.
It'll
Hey,
look like
your
I'm writing
handwriting's the
another
same as
language.
Doc's. Have you guys ever noticed that, like, most medical professionals' handwritings are just...
It's awful. Yeah.
So it's like a prereq is that you have to have terrible handwriting to get into
It's
medical
all
school.
chicken scratch.
I know it's not true. It's just funny because how common that is.
Well, see, the odd thing, like, so people in a hospital, they're so sleep deprived that I'm amazed that they can actually, like, get any writing, like, actually done.
True.
But yeah, no, I'm really great role, Matt.
Yeah. So,
It might tell us a little bit about Zid too. Like, I think this will be interesting going forward because, like I said, peopling is not really his thing.
but now he's kind of
Character growth.
been pulled into it. It is. But that's kind of the
Very-
point of a role-playing game like this,
Very
right?
good. Absolutely.
That character development, progression, where the story takes things and how that affects the character. And like Matt's saying, right? So far as it has very much been not so much a people person, but he's kind of being thrust into being a bit of a people person some. So we'll see how that pans out, but it's pretty cool.
Alright, so we're all working at our jobs.
My guess is you guys probably aren't going to swipe things for a few days.
Yeah, no.
Kind of lay low.
Well, yeah.
Head down, nose to the grindstone, doing what we're supposed to do.
Is that
I do know that like I think I've got like 2 more days before the area is closed up. 2 or 3 more days.
let's roll.
Maybe a week.
You had something like a week.
Yeah, and then
You have
we
2
work
days
for, like-
before
Okay.
your first location is closed up. That was the first mission you guys had.
Yeah.
So if you want to make it back there, you have 2 days to do it, which
Okay.
Seamus won't be fully recovered by that
No.
time. So it's up to you if you want to do it without him, or if you want to let him go along injured. What do you guys want to do with that?
I definitely don't want him to go. It's not necessary. He needs to rest.
Yeah,
Does
and
Seamus
as much
agree?
as I like the idea of
Seamus is milking this arm injury for all it's worth.
What are you saying, Matt?
As expected.
Matt, you're saying something as much as what? Oop, get summoned.
as much as I like the idea of like ticking everything off, I think that Sid is not wanting, he doesn't think it's important. I don't think to go into that particular area.
Okay.
So yeah, and I as a player just don't see it, right? Like either. I just don't see the reason right now to go there.
I mean, it doesn't really fit with. the
Maybe
current
I'm laser
objective.
focused and Zid's laser focused.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, it totally makes sense because the contact that we made, we know who he is. Like, we've got that. That's not really a thing like anymore for me. Like, I wanted to think about like, like, so I'm not trying to push to go there. I'm just trying to like get a sense of like what things are happening in like what order. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
And that's fine. I want to just
Yeah.
make sure it's clear that once that time frame's up, you guys know that that area is no longer accessible.
I mean, my understanding is that
I'm
we
happy
don't
to
need
abandon that.
anything from there anymore. So I'm fine with not
Right.
going to that area anymore. I more want to go back to the place where the mind was, because there's that area on the left that we never explored.
There's a number of areas you guys didn't explore at all.
Well, yeah. Again,
Go ahead.
these things just aren't important to Zid. Zid's so laser focused on he wants to get to the resistance, and we have a decent idea of where they are and how to get to them. So his whole demeanor, his whole purpose is that. And if we miss something, he's just not. Unless we find it, the way out is that way, and we have to double back at some point. He's not thinking about it.
Okay. I mean, like that. From my understanding is that area is open for another like 2 to 3 weeks, so we have time if we need to go back that way. So let's focus on the resistance and what Phase can do to help us.
Yeah, the other one has 12 days till an estimated 12 days until it's going to be closed. Keep in mind, like we said, right, the schedule can shift. It can actually wind up being a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than that. So, you guys just keep your heads down for how many days?
3 days at least.
3 or 4 until Seamus is healed.
Okay.
Or until he feels better. We'll put it that way.
What is the rule for healing again? Is it body each day?
They equal to the body as long as you rest up. So basically, it counts as resting up because you're given easy paper job. So they purposely make it easy to heal. So you get your body in HP per day.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's gonna take a long time.
That's a week's worth of healing to get to full.
Vomit.
You can
So
burn.
maybe we say 5 days of keeping our head down.
You can
5
burn
days is
speed
fine.
heals to accelerate it, but then that burns through
How
the
many's he got?
resources.
How many does he have?
I think
Let's,
Doc had 3 left, 4 left. 3
Let's
left.
keep those. Let's keep those.
I mean,
5
just
days.
because Seamus is taking it easy doesn't mean you guys can't go and do stuff too. Like,
True.
I get it, keeping your heads down for a while, but
Yeah.
you know, if you guys wanted to keep your head down for 3 days and then
Mhm.
you know, go do some more
start
investigation
doing
or
stuff.
whatever, that's totally fair for y'all to do. Seamus,
Okay.
on the other hand, is probably going to take the time to heal up all the way before doing anything too crazy. I mean, if
Okay.
y'all need him, obviously he'll get involved, but otherwise he's gonna just make sure that he's fully ready to go when the time comes.
For what it's worth, I'm fully healed after 3 days.
That's the
Zed,
nice
you're
thing.
fully healed already. Go
That's
ahead.
the nice thing with speed heal is that
Yeah.
it does give you your will as well to the heal, not just body. But yeah, it is a limited resource.
Zid, do you want to? Should we go chat with FaZe? Where did we put him anyway? Where'd he go?
He just disappeared. Back to his darkness.
If you recall,
Is he in the
guys
cavern?
you guys took your stuff
Mm-hmm.
to your stash. Well, he helped Seamus back to the room.
Okay.
You got back to the room. Seamus was there.
Yeah, and he was not. Is there anything in the vent?
There
Like
is.
a note?
There is.
I would like to read said note.
The note there, sticking out, said, "I appreciate your services rendered. Let me know if there's anything I can do to repay the favor."
Zed, would we like to engage FaZe to see if there's anything he can do to help expedite our exit from this accursed place?
I think that we need to have a meeting, not to ask for help necessarily, but to say what our goals are and to put it on him. Like,
Okay.
do you want to get out of here, and what might you have to offer in regard to that? Like, you know, what skills, what resources, you know, and not so we're not so we might be asking, but we're not asking for a specific. What we're saying is, hey, this is our plan. This is what we've got in place already. These are our obstacles. So our obstacles right now are a terrifying freaking half creature, half man, half freaking
Oh, he's seen him.
metal waiting for us somewhere.
Absolutely.
We have finding the resistance and reasoning with the resistance,
Mhm.
and then getting a way out of here.
Sure.
And then and going undetected for that time, right? So
Yes.
potentially there's things that he could do, but Zid would say, let's put it on him. Let's give him all the information that we have,
Mhm.
what we're trying to do, what we've figured out, where we're at, put it on him, and then
Okay.
let's hear what he has to say and find our position through that.
Okay. I'm good with that.
So you request a meeting with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After your few days of rest, you get a note back. Very short statement. Go for noodles.
Okay.
Sounds good. I'm hungry
I'm
anyway.
sure Seamus will be happy with that.
It's up to
Seamus will
Seamus
bring
if
you
he wants
something
to
back.
join for noodles or not.
Seamus, we're gonna go for noodles. You want to come?
I mean, I guess that just depends on if that would affect my recuperating process.
Nah, you still have to get food. As long as you don't do anything extraneous, right? So like you're not going and working out, you're not going on away
Running.
missions and getting into combat. It's more you have to do more reading books, taking it easy, being calm, but I mean you still have to eat. So walking down and eating isn't going to interrupt the healing process.
I mean, yeah, Seamus would go. I mean, Seamus would tag along unless there's I mean, I guess there's always a chance of this meeting becoming a problem, but, I mean, if it's been 3 days, Seamus is okay enough to go with you guys just to and take the chance of something going crazy, but yeah, he'll go have a conversation and some noodles with you guys.
Having noodles less probable of combat and threat than, say, going to the old complex again.
Absolutely.
So, you guys show up, you guys sit down, eat your noodles. You're eating. Zid's friend comes by, gets some noodles, kind of just waves at you guys, sitting in his little corner eating. After a bit, the lights dim. And you see sitting at one of the tables a shadowy figure eating a bowl of noodles. And then in walks a familiar gentleman that you've met. I hear you'd like a meeting with me. How can I help you?
So we have a set of goals that we would like to accomplish. We have. I'm sure you're aware of the obstacle, the large organic gorilla with the multiple arms that we have to get past. We have.
Shadow mentioned about you guys
yes.
finding some beast like that.
We also are aware of a resistance type organization that we would like to make contact with, and we have goods to trade with them.
All right.
And I don't remember the third one, Matt. If you want to jump in. I remember there were three. I just don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, just what we said, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, so yes, those are our three things
okay.
that we'd like to accomplish. I think the other one was just exiting, like getting out. So, yeah, those
Yep.
are the
We just
that's
lay
what we'd
down
like.
our plans. We just lay down where we're at, what we found.
Mhm.
Saying this is the situation. What do you got? What do you want? What do you got?
Why do you want to fight this beast?
We don't.
We would prefer to incapacitate without
Go to
engaging.
sneak past it and
Yeah.
get out without engaging it.
Yeah.
But we've been
Lack of-
told that it's like
Yeah.
right where we're meant to be going.
Lack of engagement.
So it's
would
more
be-
a pathing issue.
Yes.
Let me see what we can find on that then. So it sounds like it'd be more conducive to not engage such a creature.
Agreed.
That would be very conducive for sure.
And these...
Enjoy your session, mate.
You mentioned a rebel group. What do you mean? What do you know about them? Which rebel group were you talking about?
So
All the information that we have,
yeah.
Right.
My
which isn't much, but
Which...
what we have, right?
I was gonna say, the information you have, just to recap for the viewers, what do you guys remember you have for information?
We know that they had the female counterpart to the AI that's probably
yes.
not quite so crappy toward humankind. Not world bent on
Yeah.
domination, at least,
We
as far
tell-
as we can tell.
We tell them about the mind.
We know that they're closer to the surface, and that they have that they might have a way out. We know, what else do we know? Just trying to remember.
They seem to be made.
They had
up
resources.
They seem to be made up of X complex. Like they
Yeah,
broke-
and people
they-
from
they-
the outside.
Yeah, they broke out, and now they're trying to. They don't. I don't know that they got out, but they didn't like leave. Like they just went to another area of quote unquote like the old complex that I don't know is still close enough.
We also
the
heard
complex?
that it would be a long way from, like, this whole complex is like a long way from anywhere. That it would be like exiting isn't just the end of it, right? Like, because we're kind of like in the middle of nowhere, and it would be a significant passage to either Night City or somewhere where we could go, and that they might have a little bit more insight as to exactly what that looks like and what might be involved in leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know anything else?
I don't remember anything else. I'll put it that way.
No, you guys did good. I wanted to know what you guys remembered. I wanted the viewers to be able to get a refresher, and then,
Yeah.
just for you guys as well to, keep up with what you know. So yeah, no, you guys covered it really well. So,
Good deal.
well, some of your information is accurate, some of your information is dated. There was a escape attempt that failed. And there's another issue. Your current form will not do well exiting past the complex very far. Because it's not the form
Yeah,
that you
well,
are.
the intention was to not be in our current form.
Oh, so you're aware of the whole body situation then?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, and we
very
would
much-
tell him what we've discovered in relation to the layout of, because we've been mapping the place for the last couple of days, and getting a really good idea of where everything is and where possible rooms might be where they might do hold people like this, and give him our best guesses of where those bodies might be as well, considering. Yeah.
Excellent. I will see if Shadow can get into any of these. That being said, my guess is they'd be fairly well guarded and not something we can easily get into or deal with. I've not heard of anyone getting into their original forms or escaping. So either it's been well hidden or has not been successful. You ask what?
I ask inside how many passes. I specifically asked my passenger to keep an eye out, to keep a record of how many guards passed, how frequently they passed, and
She did
stuff like
inform
that
you.
from what she sees.
Yeah. She did inform you some of that and had been doing it. She mentioned that she is inside where there doesn't tend to be a lot of guards. That there's only more the doctors or scientists who tend to go into the chamber that your physical form is in. But that she, with the doors opened, she's caught in a glimpse of some fairly well provisioned guards every so often. But that is out of the room that you're actually in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, Zid would give a description to this guy as to how she's described the well-provisioned guards that might narrow things down for him.
That's actually even better provisioned than the guards you found where I was. I've not seen those before. We'll have to keep an eye out and see what we can find out on them. That is potentially troubling. It's good information, though. I am curious how you come by some of your information. It's quite impressive how much you guys have acquired, shall we say.
Out of character, do we tell him?
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't think so. Not
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
I don't
mean,
know.
we're already putting a lot on the line for this guy,
Okay.
right? Like,
Yeah,
we don't-
sure,
We
absolutely.
don't even know if he's gonna.
I don't
No
know
worries.
that Blackstone actually knows for certain how Zid got this information. Because I don't know that Zid has actually really shared
Yeah, I don't think he
that
has.
he's
I
been
just
having
assumed
these
it's
dialogues with her and stuff.
I just assume he's really well connected.
Yeah, like he hacked a terminal somewhere or something like that, since that's his job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's up to Zid if he's actually even shared this info with the rest of the group, because I hadn't heard him say that he had.
After the responses that happened when we were down there with the mind, I think Zid's maintained a relatively quiet like narrative about it. I don't think he's spoken about it very much, and he's more alluded to information rather than where it's come from. Not because he doesn't trust his companions,
Sure.
he does, but the response that he got when all of this happened led him to sort of go, well, maybe I just downplay this a little bit, and yeah.
All right.
Absolutely, it makes sense.
Anything else you guys want to talk to Base about?
I don't think so.
Well, I want to establish whether he wants to get out, whether he knows any other people that want to get out, and whether they or him, the people that he knows, or anyone else could do anything in regards to getting out, to contribute to this effort, to stick it to the freaking man who is an AI that is doing all of this to us in the first place. Like, Zid might turn on a little bit of fire here, I think. He might be like, well, what are you guys doing? You know, where are you guys at?
Yeah.
And doesn't anyone that you work with want to get out of here? Like, yeah, he might get a little bit haughty.
Yeah, so his response when you ask about where does he want to go, he's like, I know there's quite a lot of us that would like to not be here, but there's also the fear of the potential door guards or the complex guards, right? I don't know if you've been around later hours of night, but they have some fairly robust combat droids that I'm not sure how well we could make it past them.
Yeah, I have encountered such droids, and they are unpleasant.
So, my concern is that they have those, who knows how many, guarding the entrance and exit to the complex, and how doable it would be to exit the said premises.
Zid would come clean that there are 2 exits. Maybe he's unaware of that.
What do you mean there's 2 exits?
Excuse me. He would say there's the one that's guarded by all those people that's in that direction, whatever. And the resistance, a near one. That's what we've heard.
Interesting.
It's closer to the surface.
I'm gonna have to do some digging and see what we can find out about that, because I've not heard of any other entrance. I've only heard of the one entrance.
We got this information from a figure that is called the Mind
The Mind? I don't know this.
in the old complex.
Oh. You were sent down to the old
Yes,
complex, or you found a way down there?
We were sent.
No, we were sent. We were sent to clean up.
Oh, that's
Fix
interesting.
problems.
Oh. Was that the mission you got after we spoke, Shaman?
Aye. Tis.
That's troubling. I'm going to need some time to do some research and check on a few things. I will notify you when we need to speak again. But I'll start seeing what we can find on this information you've brought. There are some excellent sources of information. Is there anything that we can do for you currently, or just check out these details you've provided?
First of all, you see it's troubling. Do you mean that us getting the job directly after talk to you is troubling, or the presence of the Mind is troubling?
The fact that the job to the old complex is what the system generated with the request that was entered.
Why would that be troubling?
Why would that be what is selected instead of one of the many other tasks? Zin probably knows more about this than you guys do, given that he's seems like he's a little bit more into the net, as it were. My
I mean, they had
contact.
a rat problem. They wanted us to take care of it.
Interesting.
That was one of the problems. We happened to stumble on other problems that we also took care of.
There may be more going on than previously realized, and that's why I wanted to look into it before giving you vague theories that have nothing to stand upon. Hope you understand, I'm not trying to be cagey. I just don't want to cause problems if there is none needed.
Yeah,
But I do
this
want
is
to
a-
investigate if there is problem or not.
Yeah, nobody wants to get put in a bad position.
Correct.
Does that answer your question, Seamus?
Not really, but I'm about used to it from these two. And he kind of like nods over to the shadowy figure as well.
Shadow comes over to you. But Seamus, what have I not answered that you've asked me?
Right near everything that I've asked you. It's not that you haven't answered them. It's the way you answer them. all mysterious and, shadow-like. It's fine. Do your investigations and get back to us when you know more. We'll do the same.
Very well. And is there anything that you need, Seamus?
Something to keep my arms from getting blown off would be great.
I think, Shadow, if you're able to, maybe find him some armor or maybe some speed heals or something to assist in that endeavor. I'll see what I
Armor
can
more.
Oh no, I had armor last time. Yeah, it was great. Just didn't know that they were gonna have bazookas. Seamus just starts mumbling to himself.
They had bazookas. I didn't hear any explosions.
Yeah, they just had some automatic rifles, but
Oh.
the way that they got pretty lucky on their shots.
I see.
Zid would put in like because they're asking Blanket what could they do for us. So he would be like, you can cover our names, make us as attractive employees as we can be, as model as we can be. One, to get not noticed for all of these other activities that we've engaged in, but two, to get potentially promoted more, so that we have more and more access to higher level things.
Right.
And he would say, like information and transparency from them is also desirable, right? Like, we feel we are trapped down here. We're trapped by lack of knowledge, but we're trapped by
That's weird. I just lost everyone's signals. I'm going to refresh. Video just messed up. Let me ping them a message. That is so weird. Max is currently slow to respond. That's really weird. Hi guys.
Welcome back.
I don't know what happened. It just cut out.
Died.
Yeah. Matt, it was partly through what you were saying, and then just all of a sudden.
Yeah, we saw the dip, and then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Oh, good. I think you got the essence of what Zid's trying to do. He wants to be good model citizens and to be ranked up as much as we can, and he wants transparency.
Okay.
And in return, we'll be as transparent as we can be.
Definitely want
And
to
find a way out of here, because in the end, that's what we want, right? That's what we all want. We don't want to be down here anymore.
Right. I definitely agree that getting at here would be ideal. More information we can find on that, the better. So well done. Very pleased with how well you've done. Then I thought possible. It still leaves plenty of work to do. I will begin investigating the information you've provided for me. I do appreciate it. And you're able to make progress on this. I will say we should be able to get your rank bumped before. I've found some details that should allow that to transpire. That mission was odd that they gave you that, given the fact that it wasn't fully ranked correctly in the system. So I'm worked with an individual I know to see what I can do to try to get that resolved. And yeah, hopefully that kicks in before.
Thank you.
And I definitely look to seeing what I can find about this old complex and the mind you called him.
Yes.
Seeing what we can do with that.
And for what it's worth, the mind was not. He showed no aggression. He is. When we spoke to him, he wasn't an adversary.
That is good.
Just
to
an
know.
old man. Just an old man who.
Old man sitting behind a computer.
Was, when he was younger, caught up in what the corporation was doing and decided that what they were doing and the direction that they were going was bad and that he would stand against them. And that's the type of person that we need.
So he's an old corpo of Life Tech?
Sounds that way.
I definitely need to take a trip then. I really do appreciate you guys sharing this with me.
Sid
This
would
is
say,
very
at the very
intriguing.
least, he was a scientist. We don't know to what degree he was a corpo. I think we know that he was a scientist. At least that was, I don't know, that's what I caught on too, but maybe I'm wrong.
But apparently, based on what you said, he did work with Life Tech directly. So his information
Yes,
could be
before
very
he
valuable.
cottoned on to them. Right.
Now, what are your plans for how to try to get out of here? You mentioned a potential alternate route with the rebel group you mentioned. I'm definitely going to be looking into that. But what about getting your...
At the moment, that is our.
And that's our main idea right now.
Right.
Is to use that.
Yeah, our bodies.
Yeah, but what
do you mean?
what is the plan to try to actually get your bodies back? As based on the information I have, part of why I haven't pushed leaving, without your body, when you reach a certain distance, you just fall over dead.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Zid would say that we need to find where they are, and in order to make a plan, right? Like we know it's a big a big room with lots of tanks. We know that there are scientists working on them. We know that the scientists are concerned about the numbers that they're seeing, that they might be a little on the rough side, but they've decided to,
what do you mean the numbers
you know,
they're seeing?
because they're technically within parameters.
What numbers are they concerned about? Do you know the numbers they're talking about?
The parameters, yeah, the parameters of the suspension that
Yeah.
we're within.
I think it's the brainwaves aren't really matching. But they're within acceptable parameters. Like it's not the
They're getting
sync
to
is,
danger levels,
yeah,
but
the
not.
sync isn't there completely.
Interesting. Let's see what we can find on that. That is Troubling. I do appreciate it. Let me
Many
see what we can
things are
find.
troubling.
Indeed. Zid. As you go up in ranks, maybe you can delve a few more times and see if you can find any files or records that may help us with dealing with a corporation. And given what your
I'm gonna make a
skill
human
set seems to
perception
be.
check here. Yeah, I'm making a human perception because Zid does not like how many interesting, and we're going to have to look into that. And all of these things that he's hearing, he does not like it. He does not trust it. I rolled a 13 on human perception.
He seems to be genuinely interested, but very puzzled. He seems to know some of what you're saying, but a different piece to it. And so you're presenting this other piece, and he has this other piece. Some of them are not lining up correctly. Some are basically two pieces of the same thing that make it potentially a bigger issue, things like that. So he's unsure to make of some of what you've provided him with. In other bits, he finds very disturbing. Like, almost threatened by some of the info that you've found. Not to him directly, but like it is a threat.
Okay. Zid will keep quiet about it for now. But yeah, I'm getting bad vibes as Matt. I don't know if Zid is, but Matt's getting bad vibes.
Yeah. Matt's also played with, other systems and settings and things. But based on what
he has, he's had various bad experiences, and good experiences.
right. So yeah, he seems to be uncertain about some of the stuff, almost like he doesn't want to jump the gun, so he wants to look into it before taking what you said 100% and basically verifying.
Yeah, he's cautious. He's concerned.
Right.
All right.
He seems to be more trusting of you since you broke him out, but still has a healthy dose of survival instinct is something that would trigger in Zid's mind, right? Where Zid has seen people literally running on pure survival instinct. And Zid catches a little bit of that from him.
I get it.
So he's like, oh,
Nice.
I know what I'm seeing there. So you see him kind of trying to control or subdue or hide some of that, but your familiarity with it, right, in the combat zone, just scraping to survive, right? It's just pure survival instinct. Nothing else works.
And especially when you are confronted with new stuff that you thought that you had in hand, or that you thought, and then you've learned new stuff, and then you're like, oh well, shit, right? He definitely knows that.
Yeah. Like this reminds you, let's say, a little flashback for Zid. You're dealing with this one gang once, and he found out this piece of information that meant that an enemy gang had been doubled in strength. Whether that be new gear or they took out another gang who joined them, you weren't sure. But you saw the same kind of look on him of, we need to find a way to survive. This could basically totally wreck us. And you kind of see that same sort of a face on this guy of like, he's holding it together better than the other guy did, but you definitely see some of those same aspects of, oh no.
Yep, I get you. Thank you.
Anything else?
I think so.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
I'm good.
Now, Baze will have one last question for you guys. What is your plan to go from here? so I know kind of what route you guys are going with. And I know which route to focus my efforts on.
I think personally that the route that we prefer is the route through the resistance. If that's the answer that you're looking for.
Well, FaZe wants to know, but I also want to know for prepping, right? What kind of route are you guys want to go with? Are you guys wanting to try to start pushing for finding your VAT locations? Are you trying to just keep it low for a bit and find the info you can? Kind of what sort of... Basically a preview for our viewers, for each other, and for me to plan. Kind of know what's coming. What do you kind of...
I think... I personally think that we're gonna try and like toe the line and look for ways to rank up so that we can uncover, like, map out more of the complex. At least that's my understanding.
Does Blackstone have any other goals than mapping the complex right now?
My main goal is finding my body, but like for short term, not really.
Okay.
I think like mapping the complex is going to help us find our bodies. And the more that we rank up, the more of the complex that's going to get unlocked for us. So for me, long term, like quote unquote long term goal being finding our bodies. I think mapping the complex is probably really helpful, unless FaZe is going to give us a map of the complex.
You might if he's able to get one.
We will get one when DM is sufficiently able to actually prep and make that for us. It takes time to do these things. I, as a DM, know. And I appreciate that you are willing to just do that for us, let alone, it's a lot. It's a lot. So
People don't...
whatever it takes.
People think maps are easy to make because they're like, oh, it's
They're
just a
not.
picture. You can just throw things down.
No.
It's like,
No.
yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
You can use online thing and it generates a dungeon for you. Sure, but it doesn't build it right.
Exactly. What about for Seamus? What is Seamus's goals? Obviously, recuperating is there. We understand that.
So Seamus, I mean, Seamus's big thing is to get out. I want to say as quickly as possible, but at the same time, Seamus would not he wouldn't put things in jeopardy to try to rush things. The only thing, and I don't think this has happened thus far because I don't think we've really delved into it very much, but I think the only thing that would keep Seamus here longer, or keep Seamus wanting to kind of spend more time here, is if he found a link to the family member he's looking for here. And as of yet, that hasn't happened. So I personally think that Seamus's big thing is trying to figure out what we need to do next to find our actual bodies, because that's how we need to get out of here.
That's actually a good thing. Would you guys mind, for the viewers to know, we'll just go through each of you once and kind of tell them the background. What's your motivation? Who is it you're looking for? Because all of you have someone you're kind of trying to figure out what has happened to him, right? And just go down the line and just kind of... We're far enough into it. I think now's kind of a good time to give everyone a snippet of the character. So basically do a little flashback about your character and what their personal goals and objectives and drives are and why that is.
I think that's a great idea. Can I answer the first question first?
Yeah.
Just so that we've got all three characters, and then we can do that. Is
I
that right?
want to make sure I said that so everyone can start getting ready. But yeah, absolutely. Give us yours.
Yeah. So Zid, having seen the survival thing in this guy, I think Zid's trust goes up, and I think he will. I think he will divulge, for the first time, that he has gotten some ways in digitally into systems, that he's seen and been able to gain information to that one, the employees and servicemen and citizens are not just local, that there's other places, another place or other places that are being tracked by the same computer system. He would divulge this. He would say that he's gotten in and that he's started to create a foothold situation that we might be able to leverage to increase our level of security, to increase our level of going undetected, to increase our survival capacity. And he would talk in about a worm, a virus that he is building, and that is not to its full fruition yet, but that he is iterating upon in order for us to proceed. He also believes, based on what he has seen in this thing, that he might be able to get even further into the system and maybe find more information. As yet, he's been nervous to do so, but he would say to this man and to the others, he's divulging it to everyone, not to just him, but to everyone in the party, that he is willing to pursue this, and that this is partially in his goal set, not to detract from anything that anybody else has said, but to add to it. That he feels like that this is going to either open new avenues or support the avenues that we're already taking in trying to find where our bodies are, in trying to secure them, in trying to be undetected and get the heck out of here.
Excellent.
And he would say to Blackstone and to Seamus, he would say, I did not want to say anything earlier, Chooms. Not because I do not trust you, because I trust you even more than our new contact. However, it was unsure to me at that time how deep I could go and what we were going to do next. And I did not want to provide more stress than what we already have.
Thank you.
That's fair. At this point, if it helps us reach our goal, then let's pursue every avenue we have,
I agree.
in the open or not.
Who wants to start the flashbacks off?
So I'll kind of just, I guess I'll kind of go first, but mine's not exactly a flashback. I gave kind of my flashback earlier and kind of laid out what Seamus is going through. His whole thing is his sister is missing. He doesn't know if she's dead, if she's been kidnapped, or what happened. He just knows that he knows that he hasn't seen her, and he knows that he hasn't seen that this man that she went off with. So in his mind, he is 100% sure, without a doubt, that she has either been taken and killed or kidnapped or something by either a corporation or a dirty politician. And he thinks that it's because his family has been involved in different years in conspiracies and even revolutionary groups trying to take down certain organizations and even certain politicians. And he thinks that has something to do with his sister going missing. And he actually has kind of a construction gang that works for his family that's a front for trying to get close to and or find these people in order to either get his sister back or take revenge for his sister or both. And that's also part of how he gets the connections that he brings Doc for his Doc's patients. The rich clients is the people that Seamus has met through this construction business and brought to Doc for the various under the table surgeries and stuff that he does for people.
All right.
So my character Blackstone, whenever he was in grade school, like as a teenager, his parents were kidnapped. They were corporate managers, middle management, and they got a little too close to something that they shouldn't have apparently been getting close to. And so whenever I got home from school that day, I saw that like my home my the door was kicked in, and the only thing that was left was my mom's necklace. And so that's all I've had to go on for the last 40 plus years. And I've been searching and looking and trying to find any possible shred of information to I know they may not be alive, but I'd at least like to I'd like to have some form of closure. And the like with my background in tech, I try to perform jobs, and sometimes those jobs are in exchange for information. And all the information I've gotten has either gone to like cold dead ends or has taken me to gotten me in trouble. So in this case, I definitely I got, what's the word, effectively kidnapped, like sweet talked by this really cute corpo lady that thought she was a little more into me than I thought she was, and she just used that to whisk me away. And so here I am.
All right. Well, Zid grew up nomadically. He was living across any number of decaying buildings in the combat zone. And he knows the value of shelter, whether it be wrecked buildings that are partially still erect, reclaimed bunkers, things like that. And he developed his technological expertise in regards to hacking, pick-locking, access, right? And finding access through these activities, and in finding old tech, in seeing what he could do with it, in using it. He was targeted for very minor beat crimes, like, hey, you broke into this thing and it wasn't maybe this shop to get like some bread for your family, or like very minor things. And so he grew up deflecting anytime he was asked questions by beat cops and anyone else. He would just deflect. He would never answer a question. He's not good with people. He knew he wasn't good with people. He would just deflect. He dug around all of these places for information, and he got caught up in gangs. Not to do violence, certainly not. It's not what he's ever wanted, but to gain access to buildings where they might do violence. And in doing this, he came across some errant code, some tag code that was from a Nazi decider who was proclaiming themselves as like some major hacker, and he got real, like, almost romantically interested. Not that he knows what gender this person even is or anything. Like, he just found this, and he found it just like super enticing. Just this person who can access like really deep places and leave just graffiti effectively in computer systems, and on billboards, digitized billboards, and you would see his little marker, and Zid would just be like, oh my god, he got into that. How did this person get into that, right? He or she or whatever it is, right? So he got really caught up into that. And then more recently, in the last couple of years, he lost track of his family. He went to try and find them. He couldn't find them. He went back to the combat zone that he swore never to go back to, and couldn't find them. He started to use his digital access to like try and find them, and he found information about where they might be, but the particular file that he got into was tagged. It was tagged by Ziggurat, one of the major information technology corporations. They tagged him and they brought him in forcibly for questioning, and it wasn't a nice experience. And they saw that he was in debt. They felt that he was in debt to them as well, because he had compromised their system, and they were just not. And they're like, well, you have to pay this off now. And the way of paying this off was to send me packing to Life Tech and figure things out there. So that's where Zid is too, with family lost, with digital information there. That's him.
Now, you have found out a piece of information about someone's family associations, if I recall, during one of your dives. You remember that?
Someone's family associations?
Yeah.
It was Blackstone, wasn't it?
I think so. I don't know if I remember.
Blackstone, do you recall?
Remind me a little bit more than just
Because that's why he tried to go into that wall that time, is it not? Or am I mistaken? Something else?
I'm drawing a blank.
I'm trying to remember. I know I gave you a piece of one of them. I'm trying to remember which one it was, because it's been what?
Oh,
6
yeah,
episodes.
no, it's fine. Like, I was about to walk in, yeah, like Dimension said, I was about to walk into the door, and that was me flashbacking, because you called out my mom's name. Remember? I don't know if you found the file, or if like I can find it in you.
I remember calling out Blackstone's name.
Yeah, no, you called out my mom's name.
I thought that was you had. Yeah,
that wasn't a file you found. That was.
Talked to Zid.
Yeah, that was because he talked to you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go through my notes and see what else.
I feel like I vaguely. I mean, I could be wrong too, but I feel like I vaguely remember you finding something about Blackstone's family here and connecting. Or maybe it was you. You connected Life Tech to Zid's stuff, and realized that your family was here somewhere or something.
I remember a lot, but I'm not remembering this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I know my memory's not as good as it should be with all the sleep deprivation of late, so I'm sorry.
It's fine. I try to like remember the big things, but this would be something that's very innocuous, and I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's alright.
I can imagine that, like, if you remembered it, Dimension, I can imagine it probably happened. I don't personally.
To be fair, I don't remember what I had for breakfast, so this could be something I'm just imagining in my head. So, but I feel like I vaguely remember something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just looking through my notes to see if there's anything written, but yeah, it's alright. You can move on
Is there anything else for
about it. I just...
Blackstone famous right now? You guys kind of
Oh, do you mean like from backstory perspective?
backstory perspective, current character development, or dealing with Phase and Shadow, or are you guys ready to head back to the night?
I'm fine with what we've done at the meeting.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. That night, Zid, you're woken up. Your associate, internal, informs you of a disturbing find. Wakes you up.
Alright.
Did you realize you have some stored files from Ziggurat within your mind? Apparently they have been blocked from opening.
No!
Apparently they've been blocked from opening by Life Tech
Oh boy.
systems.
So, I
Would you
think
wish to
in
open
waking
them?
up,
In waking
I
up, what?
think in waking up, Zid would be like coughing, like it'd be like, and if he was to wake Seamus or Blackstone, he'd be like, I apologize. I'm just it must have been sleep apnea. Like, yeah, yes, all the opening. Zid's whole thing, by the way, to those people here, both as observers and as players, access. His whole character is everything about Zid. Pretty much, other than the little bits of the story that we had to link in, everything is access. Everything was built for access. So yes, he does want to get into stuff.
Opening file now. You see the face of the exec who you spoke with come to life in front of your vision. Zid, we're sorry to put you in this situation, but as you owe us, figured it's worth it. We're having you go into Life Tech because we believe they have underground facilities that your capability of, fortunately, being a disposable hacker to us warrants the usage on. So thank you for being a valuable asset and infiltrating Life Tech for us. Your duties are to find the core server and upload the enclosed virus so that we can locate the facility. And hopefully transmit any files and information they contain. We appreciate your service and hope you are not terminated. If you succeed, you will paid handsomely. Message terminated.
Well then.
I think Zid is on his hands and knees and he is retching right now. I'm alright.
I get up and I go over there and I check. I make sure that he's okay.
got tears running down his eyes.
Do you think
Nice.
Blackstone would know you well enough to tell something's wrong or not?
I don't know that he would tell something's wrong. Obviously, there's been a physical reaction to something. I think Blackstone would like to think that he probably notices more than that.
You can always roll human perception, and you can
So
base
there's two
his-
lines of thought. Yeah, I think so because yeah, we are still relatively new to each other. Like in the grand scheme of things, like yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you don't mind, Azrael rolling for human perception, we can.
15.
Ooh. So
not
we've
bad.
got. Yeah, I think that's good.
15 is
Yeah,
a
I think that's pretty good.
difficult. DD.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Blackstone would know enough that this negative reaction isn't because of a negative experience. And I think he knows it well enough to know that something juicy, right? Something juicy is what's in it. Like there might be some excitement, there might be something, there might be that sneaky smile on his mouth. But he did also get woken up kind of forcibly and just like did not expect for all of this to happen. So unexpected and juicy are probably things you probably don't know much more than that, but you know that it's not just bad. It's not like he's not having a seizure and he's not, you know, something good's going on. Something
All right.
Dig. What does Blackstone do with that?
I look in his eyes and I tell him that if like he knows me well enough to know that if he needs to talk about anything, he can. I know that I have a very gruff exterior, but he and I have talked enough and confided in each other enough to know that he can tell me something if he needs to.
I want to ask my internal passenger contact, is the code to that virus still there?
Affirmative.
So he would make sure that this is not a risk to her.
Negative, it is a risk. Tampering with it risks the possibility of causing problems for anyone connected to it. Advise, if choosing to utilize said virus, have a remote open so that you may be disconnected from the system. So her,
Yes,
basically she's advising
He would
that...
say we're keeping it.
What was he gonna say?
Matt, what were you saying?
I was gonna say that he would let her know that I intend to keep it contained until we were in a place and a time to actually put it down into something that's actually gonna like have an impact. And sure, he appreciates the heads up that if I'm gonna do that, make sure I've got a back door.
Basically,
and,
she's saying,
and
yeah.
support to pull me out, right? Like,
She's saying that you should have it be... Basically, you'd be creating a virus, or this virus, that will open it, to trigger it, so that you can jack out prior to it actually being triggered. Because if you're connected when it's triggered, there's a decent chance you'll be affected.
Which they probably wanted to do anyway, so that they didn't have to pay you.
Either that, or it was a risk they're willing to take.
Cigarette is bad.
Yeah.
It's a
No
corp. All corps love you.
Zid would wake up
I mean,
everyone in the room.
at least as far as corps go, they're at least honest about saying he's disposable to them.
I don't know if that's
This waking
very
up will be
redeemable.
gentle.
So,
Zid will
Seamus,
just
Zid wakes you up.
gently go around the room and just gently wake people up.
Seamus has the look on his face of a parent that is not mad but very disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Zid ignores said look.
He's just like slow blinking
He
at
says,
you, like trying to get his brain to start.
Been there.
yeah. He hands you like a wrapped bar, you know. Just says, here, chew on that for a minute. And he would tell them that once he has an appropriate connection, that he remembers all of a sudden being tasked to come here and to access the system and to have, I'm not sure whether I would say the name of the corporation, interested people access to what they believed was underground facilities, and what we have discovered is an underground facility, and that they would be very interested in that, and that there might be then reason to expect either help or some form of retribution upon said existence of underground locations coming from outside, and we might need to be extra careful. But that he has remembered sort of what brought him down here in the first place, and that it has to do with tagging the system, and that he has the capacity to influence things if he gets access to the right system.
Sounds like it's not as simple as getting our bodies and leaving now. But this could lead us to the way that we need to do that.
Do you think that you could accomplish your task from a computer system that's not in the complex? Like from
Unlikely.
one that's in the old complex?
Unknown. So Zid would go, I don't know. Depends on if they've severed every connection. My Zid's gut would say that they've probably severed the connections, but maybe there's an old one that didn't quite get secured. But his understanding, based on what was told to him by the mind, and all of that, and leading up to now, he would say that he assumes that everything's been cut.
it's probable that it's been severed.
I do wonder in that area in the old complex that we hadn't explored yet. I wonder if there's like a terminal or something that maybe you could accomplish it from there.
Says I don't know, but
Okay.
we can't use this information right now.
Sure.
But he says it is how you say important that I am transparent with my friends. As I have said earlier, transparency is becoming more and more important to all of us. So, in remembering this, all of a sudden, now I am equipped in ways I did not understand before. I want you to know this. You may get some sleep. I am sorry to have woken you at this time, but I cannot ignore that this has changed our capacity in this situation.
Well, thank you for confiding in us and letting us know this information. It will definitely help us from to help decide like direction to take. I mean, we all have goals, and I imagine that this is now a goal that's been added to your list, so it's a goal that's been added to our list.
Would you share with them that? No, you didn't mention it was Ziggurat. That Ziggurat did say they would pay you decently for succeeding, or do you keep that quiet?
I don't know that it's that important. Zed has an intention that if he gets money for it, that he shares it with everybody that helps us get out. But I don't think he wants to say that and complicate matters.
All right. Problem. And that is where we'll call it for the night. I hope you guys had fun.
That was awesome.
Our viewers are thrilled, and tune in next week where we continue this crazy adventure and see what happens. Does our lovely friend Zid get access to a main system so he can upload his virus? Do they find their bodies? Do they find they have to fight this beast or not? Many questions, many questions. Much adventure to be had as they attempt to exit the complex.
Finally.
Right? Tune in every week this time, and we'll continue this lovely story. Until next time, as always, enjoy the story. We'll see you all next time. And be sure to follow these great folks. They deserve it. They're awesome. See you guys then.